So how do I know that it definitely was a reason for my health crisis, the calorie deficit? Even though I would never have thought that that was even possible. The fact that all of my physical symptoms disappeared within 1 week of eating 2,500 plus calories, meaning often above, never below, instead of around 2,000, and all of my mental patterns changed within 1 month. That is evidence enough for me that all my physical and mental ailments were largely caused by a chronic energy deficit and calorie restriction. Of course, there's always multiple factors involved. Even though it was unwanted and unintended, the calorie restriction. But the body doesn't care in the end. All it knows is that food is scarce. So it uses energy for vital functions, which are not digestion, strong immunity, reproduction, holding on to hair, immune system, let alone initiating and maintaining a cycle and ovulation. And we haven't even spoken about muscle recovery, bone maintenance, organ repair, brain function, memory ability, etc. The list is endless. And chances are you're not even aware that your system runs on low volume as you've become used to it, and the process of hibernation is very slow. Also, which is highly fascinating, there are direct correlations that are reproducible and lead to the same outcome every single time for me. Undereating always results in constipation, delayed gastric emptying, and bloating for me, quite reliably every time. A day of not eating enough due to being busy or being on trips and travels, or I have much going on, etc. For example, an extraordinary hike. That always, without exception so far, has been causing days and days of constipation afterwards. It really is fascinating, guys, and scary at the same time, and really proof for me that the body does need that much energy. My body does need that much energy. I can't restrict ever if I want to be healthy and want my body to function even at the most basic levels. Otherwise, my system won't run. It won't even have enough energy supply for a basic function like digestion and eliminating comfortably and without pain. Scary indeed. My digestive issues started in 2015. I went vegan in 2013. I had a severe adrenal burnout in 2014 due to overexercising and undereating at the same time. So it was undereating for that amount of exercise, and that for many months. Also resulting in hypothyroidism and no period. So hypothalamic hypothyroidism and hypothalamic amenorrhea and hypothalamic adrenal fatigue. It took until 2017 that I could sleep less than 12 hours and make it through the day, doing normal errands without being exhausted actually. Rather earlier in 2015 already, my bloating after every meal, no matter what I was eating, started and soon became normal for me. Because it started light but grew heavier steadily over a long time. So I didn't notice and got used to it. I started to eat very carefully and as perfectly as I possibly could, which is what you do when you have digestive problems, I guess. At that time, that meant to follow all kinds of food combining rules, eliminating all kinds of stuff like gluten and allergenic foods, eating as low fat as possible. Big mistake. In fact, all of these were a big mistake. Whole foods only, supplementing hydrocortisone and thyroid hormones. Never do that, not even the tiniest dosage. Comment if you want a video on that. And protein powder, today I know it messes up my digestion the most. Like, isolated protein powders. Volume eating, intermittent fasting, exercise every day. What was only a bike ride for me back then, I know today was far too much back then. Like, I wasn't missing exercise, I was missing rest. I did rest, yeah. I did sleep a ton, but I wasn't eating enough. But I also wasn't resting enough. Like, it wasn't in balance with all of this. I know that because I regularly tracked what I ate to make sure I ate enough. And to my understanding, that meant 2,000 calories because I wasn't moving a lot and had quite some weight on me due to the hypothalamic and adrenal exhaustion. Like, I had put on some weight. So for me, that translated into, well, I will be eating enough then. And I always ate when I was hungry, but very calorie dilute volume stuff, you know. I'll get into that in a next video. My metabolism was already so slow that my body maintained weight at around 1,800 calories. And volume eating took care of feeling full soon on lesser calories. The fact that everyone talks about 2,000 calories being the high-end peak of female energy requirements and eating energy dilute foods because they're so good for you, and volume being kind of the only one important thing for satiation made this seem logical to me. Sure, I did know that according to the World Health Organization, anything below 2,200 is considered starvation, and that calorie requirements given in calculators are not adequate, especially not on a plant-based diet. But somehow I was so caught up in the fact that my body had gained 10 kilograms after the adrenal crash in 2014, and still had 5 kilograms or so 3 years after, that I was convinced, and there was no question for me, that I must be eating more than enough then. I would have laughed at you, actually, if you had told me then that I needed to eat far more to lose that weight and be healthy physically and mentally. You might laugh at me too right now, but you might want to reconsider everything. And I would have laughed at you if you had told me that the answer to all my physical ailments, so just look at my timeline, I had to deal with all kinds of shit, was eating far more and lose all the rules and control and restrictions of all kind, and eat far more fat and not care about protein at all, like that I get enough, as long as I eat enough calories, you know. Of course you can eat not enough protein when you undereat in general. That goes without saying. Today, I know it would have saved me 5 years of my life of circling around food and health and healing. The more perfect I ate and lived, the sicker I had become. And that's where we get into reason number 2 for vegan gut and immune issues: the whole food, volume, and macro obsession. There's a problem with that volume eating that is all too much suggested to young healthy people, like that are healthy in the beginning, and you know, then they wonder why they're running into health issues after several years of being vegan. So I'll see you then, and don't forget to let me know your thoughts and experiences on all of this. Needless to say, I'd love to see you like and subscribe. And I'll see you soon. Bye.